first time I ever heard hip hop had to be when I was about like either like 1.5, 2. It's Naughty by Nature, Hip Hop Parade. Song sold me on the music, sold me on the movement. I was in the backseat. My parents told me I was in the backseat going Hip Hop Parade. Oh, hey, oh, you know. But after that, when I realized like what hip hop was, when I was about 7 or 8, had a homie that lived across the street. He played me the Doggy Style album. Blew my mind, bro. I never heard something so just sonically crazy at the time. Like, mind you, I was hearing, you know, Ain't No Fun, the uncut version, you know what I'm saying? I'm hearing Doggy Dog World with the dramatics, the fabulous dramatics. Man, I even remember hearing Bow Wow for the first time. Like, you know, before he was just like rapping. I heard him on that album. That was the first time I heard a kid cuss. Mind you, I'm like 7 years old, so I'm hearing a little kid cuss on an album. I'm like, what? They got a little kid? You could do that on it? Oh, like I'm my head.
They went there.
They went there, man. It was crazy.
Yeah, so the first time I got into hip hop, so like I was saying, I kind of think of hip hop as a culture and rap as something you do in it, right? Mm-hmm. So I would say that the first time I got into rap had to be a really young age, man. I remember being a kid and going to Sam Goody's, going to CD Warehouse, and just buying cassette tapes and stuff, right? But I kind of grew up in it. My older brothers, I was kind of blessed to have older brothers and cousins, and they were all bumping Bay Area rap when I was a kid. So just being a kid, I was influenced by it, you know. So from a really young age, I had to be like, I don't know, maybe like 5 or 6. It sounds really young, and crazy, but it's true, man.
No, that's about right.
Yeah, I remember being 5 or 6, sitting by the radio and waiting for certain songs to come on, pushing record, you know, making my own mixtapes. But finally getting to a certain age, had to be maybe like 8 or 9 when I had a little money in my pocket, and I would go to stores like Sam Goody's and Warehouse and buy like single cassette tapes. The single cassette tapes were like $3.99, and a regular one would be like $10. You know what I'm saying? So that's probably when I got into it.
So when did I first get into hip hop? I have to go back to high school is when I really started getting into it and listening to it. But before that, you know, my parents they were pretty strict, like, you know, Christian Jehovah's Witnesses, whatever, you know. And I pretty much had to sneak out when I go to friends' houses, so go listen to some, you know, with that back then it was, I'm 47 or 46, so, you know, back then it was like, you know, Public Enemy, KRS One, you know, I was just like listening, a fan of it. And then high schools when, you know, Dre and Snoop Dogg, and then I started hearing the stuff from the Bay Area. Even before I came back to the Bay Area, I was living in Bakersfield, California, going to high school, and yeah, that's when I started hearing. First it was, you know, Snoop Dogg, Dr. Dre, and then, you know, E40 and Mac Dre. I started hearing that at my high school, and then when I moved back to the Bay Area, yeah, that's when I heard all the jams. But I remember in high school I used to always write. My mind's playing tricks on me. What's his name? Scarface. Yeah.
Boys, yeah.
I used to listen. I used to listen to his tapes and write down his rhymes. You know, when I first started you know, writing and rapping and try to recite his shit. But like, yeah, that's when I really started.
Get into hip hop. Damn, let me see, cause you know my pops was really into music, and you know they had a big music crate in the house back in East Palo Alto. So you know, pops was from the East Coast, and he used to be clubbing a lot back in the day. He was never home and shit. But that's a whole nother story, for another time. But yeah, Pops was like, he was in the Houdini. He was always bumping Sugar Hill Gang. I think he used to like that jam White Lines for some reason. I think Pops was sugar free though. But I'm just saying, man, way back then, that was me being around rap, right? But as far as getting to my own, it's probably like the DOC. Is It Funky Enough? That was like the first song I was really slapping. No, Posse on Broadway. Posse on Broadway was my shit. Mind you, this is like 87. I was born in 1980. You know what I mean? So, yeah, but like when I really got into it, I think was when that West Coast Bad Boys dropped, the first one. But no. Snoop and Dre was the shit. I don't know, man. This is such a complex question, man. I got so many different angles, man, because like there was a time when I was buying tapes and shit with my lunch money. And that's probably when West Coast Bad Boys came out. And then there was a time when I was taping shit off the radio, and that was probably when Dre and them was out.
Man, we have to go way back. So I don't remember the year. I know it was the 90s. Man. The Bay Area rap scene was all I knew. I wasn't into any kind of East Coast, South, nothing like that. My whole rap, like catalog, everything that I got was on, cassette, Star Records, San Jose.
Yeah.
A lot of the influences was just based on what my cousins had. Everything that they were bumping, Coog Nut, RBO Posse, E40 in the Click, like even Rich the Factor, who wasn't even in the Bay, he was soaked. Everyone was listening to him back then.
Still.
Dark Room Familia, they were out here in the damn in the Valley, and I was listening to them like thinking they were from the Bay, and they were a bunch of gangsters from the Valley.
I still don't know where they're from.
Yeah, but I listened to there were some of the early times, like all this gangbanging stuff. What's that dude's name from Sacramento? I forgot his name. I mean, from Sac to the Bay, everyone was just like, they were all from the Bay to me at the time. I was just a kid.
Yeah.
Rap music was Bay Area music to me. I didn't listen to anything but Bay Area, West Coast shit. Snoop and Dre and the Dog Pound, DPG, they were my favorite growing up. Shit, man, Bay Area rap, hip hop, that shit was, it was a beef back then. I couldn't listen to no East Coast shit back then because of the time I was raised with it.
You came out, like around the time Pac and Biggie passed away?
When they passed away, I was like deep into just like the whole West Coast and Bay Area rap scene. Like,
because
it was everything to us, and yeah.
We didn't listen to them back then.
We didn't. We knew about them, but we had to categorize them. There was like in school, if you were in that group of listening to East Coast, you just wasn't with us.
Pretty much. Pretty much.
You was out there in the same field as us, but we don't get down with y'all because y'all was listening to the wrong stuff.
And please don't touch my tape deck,
Yeah.
Please don't put that shit in.
Don't touch my talk boy, man. I used to bring the talk boy to class because all my friends were rapping. Everyone, they had rap battles and shit. And we used to contribute the rap battles to the East Coast. That was the only thing that we used to like praise. We used to be like, yeah, the East Coast, they do battle raps. And, shit, we could battle. And then it was just like, we just, people tried it and it was tight. Got a lot of those recordings, man. They're gone. Long gone now, but those days were fun. Bootlegging all these mixtapes and shit from our favorite. Our favorite crews. Man, hip hop was fun back in the day.